listening to The Mother Love Show.
And we are back. Hey, this is, I don't know what had happened. This is like it's not deja vu. This is just like so cool. I have another North Carolinian on the program. This must be, he must want something from me because he done put two fine guys on the show. You ain't funny, Mr. Producer. He gonna make me put out. I done had a fine guy before, and now I got another fine guy, and both from North Carolina.
Yes.
He's like, I'm gonna bring, and you got your own teeth and good hygiene.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I got beautiful in the studio today. In studio with me, let me give him a proper introduction. His name is Brookshire Lafayette.
Yes, it is.
He is you the everything man. You just do everything. Let's just get right to the conversation.
Let's get into it.
Talk to me about Brookshire Lafayette and all the things that you do, because he's a personal trainer.
Yes.
He's an entertainer.
Yes.
He just do everything. You probably part Jamaican. They say you from North Carolina, but you probably part Jamaican. You got 11 jobs. What are you talking about? You just got rid of the accent, didn't you? You just said I come from North Carolina, but I am Jamaican.
Yes. Well, I don't think I have any of the Jamaican in me. I got some king in me.
Mm-hmm.
I do step up in my kingdom authority.
And you got to do that. You got to do that.
You got to take ownership over your life. It's important because so many people aren't, and so that's what I want folks to understand as far as my intention for coming on. And I just want to say so much thank you, Mother Love, so much for bringing me on.
Oh, baby, please. This is what we got to do, honey. Listen. I want to know about Brookshire Lafayette, and I know that other people want to know
right,
about
I appreciate
you.
that.
Can have. I think it's unfair that we have so much great talent, so many wonderful people that are out here that other people need to, not that they don't know it, you need to know.
They need
who
to
Lafayette
know.
Brookshire is.
Yes,
now
yes.
let's just go back. Let's just get the full
go
story
ahead and
about
take it
Brookshire.
on
Let's go back to North Carolina. Tell me about your life growing up in North Carolina.
Well, my life was, I would have to say I was raised like a prince.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep it right in that realness. And honestly, it really, as I've grown older, I have really been able to compare a lot of my life stories to biblical things. And I know they say that revelation knowledge is relevant today,
yes,
which it should be if you going and moving forward and by the word and by the faith.
Go tell the truth.
So I like to make sure that I can bring certain things back home to make sure that I'm on the right track. So grew up with my dad was a master gunnery sergeant in Marine Corps, 28 years, amazing man. He was one of those type of people that put the most people in the Marine Corps recruiter during his time. So excellent. He's a real estate broker now. Mother was a former social teacher assistant, but now she is a elder in the church. So we got that word.
What's the church? Get the church.
St. Stephen's AME Zion Church in Belgrade, North Carolina.
Okay.
So that's my home church where I grew up at. But good, of course, shout outs to Creflo, Bill Winston, and my boy Laurie Thompson.
Okay,
that was my boys. Okay, but yes, but
And let me ask you, how important is that for you in your life now, and being out here in California in the entertainment industry, the foundation of the church?
Oh my goodness, that is my foundation.
Because a lot of people kind of let that fall by the wayside.
Right.
They come out here and they just like, well, I don't need to know have that.
Right. Well, I think in life there's always, they say that a genius uses about 20% out of 100% of his brain, and they say about the average person uses about 5% out of 95%. I'm a firm believer that other 95% that is untapped, or that 80, should we say, for the geniuses out there, is
that would be us.
Yes, is that Holy Spirit, and that's the anointing. I think it's so important to understand your foundation. I always tell people there's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. When you drop.
Where you find this one at? he ain't even old enough to be able to know nothing like that.
Hey, wisdom don't have no age on it.
I tell people all the time, I can learn from a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Because they can teach me. I can learn from a 94-year-old.
Right.
You can never have enough information.
That's that serendipity learner mentorship, is when we're able to take something from everything. And I think that's what we should be able to do. Because in life, as long as we remain teachable, I think then even through death of someone someone else, we're able to get the beneficial thing from it, which is, life is all about how we see things. And we're not seeing what we see. They say we're seeing
it's
what
that
we've
perception.
already what's on the back. So you're seeing what you perceive it to be, and it's just a reflection of now what you think it is, which can be changed.
And sometimes it's not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is a lot of times.
You know what they say? They say, who you going to believe, me or your lying eye?
Right. Exactly. That's a great point. But to get back to the foundation is my everything. I was talking with a good friend of mine, prophetess Jackie London, and she was just like, she was giving me a word, and she was just like, one thing that you've done was everything that you pretty much have done has been on faith, and jumping off of faith. I tell people all the time, you got to know how to free fall into
and trust.
Yes.
That God will catch you.
That he will catch you.
He will not let you fall.
Well, that's his word.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I'm just a living witness to what he said.
We have to, and I think that's where it comes down to is the belief and believing what he said. And and I doggone believe what he said now. I'm just gonna tell you, I believe it, and I'm an example of what being a giver. When I was a young man, my mom taught me. It was so funny. We were talking about when just when I was 12 years old and first starting to work and things of that nature, hiring my cousins to do my paper route, and paying them out of my check, and they were bagging for me. And, I was always in that entrepreneur. But I had a good friend, and I consider her my prophet. Prophetess Wallace, and she's always been there. But for some reason, the Lord put it in me to just make sure I sold it in her. My mom was laughing today. She said, you gave her $3, but you act like you were giving her $3 million. She's like, that woman need this money. So
sometimes when you need it, $3 might
it makes a difference, And so, and again, it's our faith applied, and faith without works is dead, and it's all about applying what we know. And so many people they want things, and but they don't take what they have and actually apply. They don't want to
work for the things. They just want it to be handed to them. They think it should just fall off the sky like manna.
Now, let me say this, because once you're under the anointing and you're in your favor space, now there are things that do fall out of the sky.
Now we can't listen.
The law of attraction, and it's a fine line, and I just want to say, because I can only say what I've experienced myself, and through that you can have the right frequency, think of something and attract it to your existence immediately. But again, there is effort. There was some ways that you put out. There's something that you have put in place. And people don't realize staying in faith and believing for greater things.
For the greater good.
That is effort.
And nobody ever said it was going to be easy.
Right.
If it were easy, everybody could do it.
And you're right. And so my foundation is my everything. That's my steel. That is what I come back to, because, again, I believe that none of this is about me. I believe that I'm just a steward. We are just I always say I'm the funny looking vessel. Right.
And I know God got a sense of humor, because I see me in the mirror.
Okay.
And I'm making me crack up laughing. So I'm like, this is the same God.
Girlfriend, you beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
Cute.
And I'm a little older. I'm a little older to be cute. I figure God can make me into platypus.
Right.
Okay, you can't tell me he does not have a sense of humor.
I
and
can
did not want
that.
us to be filled with joy and laughter and fun. Now let's talk about, this is your foundation. What made you say, I'm going to make this and go to California? And how long have you been here?
Well, there's been a weaving from California. I'm not your average country boy.
And can I just say, on the air, I love the mutton chops. He's got mutton chops bald as a baby's butt on top of his head. He got these hairy mutton chops, and it totally works for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. When I started,
it's so unique.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. When the hair started, doing its own thing on the top, I was like, God, you got to give me something else.
Wait a minute, and you too young to be. But my son is bald.
Oh yeah?
He went bald at 23.
But let me tell you something. It has definitely kept some money in the bank account, because the folks that I know, they got to get an extra job just to keep their hair cut. So I get me a Fusion, and shout outs to Fusion. I get me a Fusion razor. Go ahead and handle it, because to me it's the best.
Do you have to shave it every day?
I don't have to shave it every day, because I'm one of those types that I always keep a hat on just because I sweat, and there's nothing worse being bald headed and you sweating, talking, and then don't get nervous for a second or having to think. It's starting to run in your eyes and your mouth, all up your nose. You just like, okay, all right, let me put a hat on. Let me put a hat on so we can catch some of that.
And a headband wouldn't work for you.
No, only for the gym. So, but yes, definitely, I really appreciate that, and and it actually, this look started off by an accident.
How so?
was in transition and my clippers went missing. So it's
always a story.
It's always a story. My clippers went missing and I could not cut it down. And so I could only I had like a little trimmer or whatever, so I could kind of like keep my neck from being all wolf man. So that's, and at certain times, it hadn't grew all the way into like the goatee-ish, like around my mouth area.
So it was kind of looking like a little sporadic.
Right. So it grew into a design and I just kind of went with it, and I noticed people started complimenting like, oh my God, that's so unique. And I'm just like, what?
I can't find my clip.
Right, like only if you knew, but it has definitely become a blessing. So you know how that always works.
It totally works for you. I mean, somebody would see you and say, I will not forget Brookshire.
I appreciate that.
So now when you said you weaved your way from North Carolina. I weaved my way. Let's talk about the weaving to California.
Let's talk about the weaving. Oh my goodness. So I'm just one of those type of people that have always been determined to be a voice of some sort. And at the time when I didn't even know what the voice was, I just wanted to be a voice. I believe that if someone should do it or someone could do it, why not me?
Why not?
Why not me? Why? And I say this to everybody, why not you? Because we all have something on the inside of us.
See, that's what God said to me. I wasn't trying to do what I'm doing.
Okay.
If you would have told me I was going to be a prominent talk radio host or a prominent personality out in the entertainment field, because I had my own plan.
Did you?
I had my own plan, and I was working on my plan and doing my
Your
plan.
plan.
I had my plan, and then one day God just bust out like,
right, like, girl.
Okay, now this is what you're gonna do.
This is what you gonna do.
And I was doing really well in my plan. I made a lucrative living in my plan.
Right.
And then when the plan shifted, I was a very heavy woman, and I made my living as a plus size woman. I had a plus size beauty pageant.
Wow.
We went to the Bahamas. We were all over the country doing the premier pageant for plus size women.
Oh my goodness.
All over, and I mean beautiful plus size women, and we had all these big sponsors and
whoa.
Then they brought, look, I'm doing my thing in Ohio, and then this guy goes, I want to bring you to LA and shake up LA talk radio. I'm like,
get out of here.
Okay.
Is that how it happened?
That what had happened.
That what happened?
What had happened was, and I was like, okay, you got to pay me because I got a good job. I drove a school bus, and my husband worked in a warehouse that are now like the Costco's.
Right.
We were just regular people doing just regular stuff. And then things just started opening up, and God just started opening up the doors, and then I lost a lot of weight.
Right.
And I have type 2 diabetes. And it runs in my family, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do about this? So after I lost the weight, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get back on TV and do my thing. I'm going to be Miss Five-Thing. And God, as clearly as you and I are speaking, God said, I need you to go, what I want you to do and I need you to do is go and heal my people. I'm like, what am I'm gonna say? Don't worry about what you're gonna say. I'll tell you what to say.
Oh, like Moses.
How I'm gonna get there? Don't worry about how you're gonna get there. Well, don't worry, I got you. I'm like, well, why would I? And I'm the queen of the snap.
Okay.
I did stand-up comedy for 15 years and was very, very good at it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very, very much. I mean, I could get a man a run for their money, and they know what they were so glad I got off the stage. They know what to do. So God said, okay, now this is what I want you to do. And I said, well, why would stupid me? See, and as an anointed person, you will understand this. You do not have an argument with God, because you're going to lose.
Okay.
And I'm having this well, why would you want to send me? And he was like, okay, why not you? And I had no snappy comeback.
Okay.
And so when you don't have a comeback, you have to go. That is your assignment. This is what you do. So when you heard the assignment from on high, what did he tell you?
Well, it was several assignments. I was one of these kids that at 4 years old, I was speaking in tongues. And
I'm not surprised.
My mom would take me to all these different people. At the time, she wasn't in the church like that. She was one of those kids that was in the church and then kind of went to the world and then kind of came back. It happens. The word tells you they'll come right on back.
You train up a child, and the way they would go, even if they go astray, they'll bring their little happy behind.
They come on.
That's not what the scripture said.
Right. But you did my love addition.
Yeah, that's my rendition. You bring your little happy behind on back. Okay.
Right.
This is too much fun. We're not supposed to have this much fun.
No, we are. Yes, we are. Because you know what? The audience feels it, and they need to be touched. Years from now, when they hear this, they need to know that, hey, if we can,
we will.
And we will, you can, and you will.
And they need to know
And
that.
they need to know that.
Okay, so now your mother come back in.
When my mama come back in and I'm speaking in tongues, I'm like, oh, you know how they do. And I'm doing periods and question marks. And my mom was just like, what is maybe my baby is telling the world something they need to know. And so one time she took me to my auntie and she said, baby, go ahead and speak that language. Because they called it pig Latin at the time. Because, they ain't know.
They don't know.
They ain't know. My mama wasn't into that at that time. And so I started speaking it. And she was just like, oh, God, get them away from me. So it was just because, again, they don't know.
Scared.
And then it just kind of left. Or maybe a year or two later, it just kind of left. So it came and it left. And then, of course, as I started getting back more into my walk, it came back. And, of course, went to Creflo and got the evidence of speaking in tongues. And then the Lord came and said, you've always spoke it. Just speak it now. Now you know. You know what I'm saying? And so that is the same way that I speak. So I know that God has always had a favor or a point for me. So when I say that the road kind of was a little different, of course, I got out of college, North Carolina Wesleyan, in college business administration, had some focus in law and also theater. I believe you know what you do when you're going to do it. So you need to know. So even when you bring on the lawyer, he won't run you for your money, okay?
And you need to know some of these things.
You need to know. You need to know. My director always said, her quote was, make yourself nigger-proof. So whatever colors you are is out there, you make yourself color-proof or however you want to do it. Make yourself color-proof, meaning whatever you got yourself into, whatever you are into, your mom, dad, brother, sister, wife, a student, a teacher, whatever it is, go ahead and know something about it.
And be knowledgeable.
Be knowledgeable, because can't nobody take that away from you.
I remember when I was growing up, and I didn't realize that I was, because I come from the era, we used to be, first we were Negroes, then we were colored, then we were Afro-American, then now we're people of color.
Right.
And my mother used to say to me when I was a kid, she said, you be whatever you want to be when it's convenient for you, not when it's convenient for somebody else. She said, you came into this world, you're a female first.
Right.
You are first going to be a female, then you're going to be a young lady, then you're going to be a woman.
That's right.
And they want to start adding things that you're a black woman, or you're a tall woman, or a short woman.
Right, good point.
That's on them.
Right.
You make it be convenient for you. So when it became convenient for me to be the little colored girl that was doing real good in school, and the white people used to say, white people used to say, oh, this little colored girl, she's just so smart, she got so much potential. We want to give her private lessons. My mama said, now see, that's convenient for you. You go take the lesson. That way I ain't got to pay for you.
Right.
A whole lot of
and convenient for me too. Go ahead, baby.
It's a whole lot of y'all. Now you're gonna have to get you a college scholarship, because it's too many of y'all for me to put through. And it was never a question about, okay, we are colored people, poor people from the projects, that we will not be educated, we will not do well. You must graduate from high school with. You better not come in the house with a C. My mama said, if you come in with a C, I'm going to see my way to whooping your behind. You have no job. You pay no rent. You buy no food. You don't even buy your own underwear and sanitary pads. When she went to the sanitary pad
she
thing,
didn't.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she went down there, Brookshire.
She went down there?
She went. I was like, okay, this chick
right,
is
mama.
no joke.
You got to be. But look at the product that it produced.
I'm still trying to figure that out. We got to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your life and your career. We got your foundation. We got your essence and your spirit. You have such a beautiful life around you. Thank you. And I totally receive that. God knows and puts his children together. In studio with me is Brookshire Lafayette, and he's the everything man. He does all kind of stuff. He's a personal trainer. He's a tumbler. He's a gymnast. You do all kind of stuff. He just do everything. We're going to find out all all the stuff that Brookshire does and who he is and why. I just like you because you own the program. And we'll be back after this.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Tony Malone, the creator of Soul Burgers.
And my name is LeVan Davis from House of Pain, and I am a Soul Burger man.
I spent many years making my unique, delicious Soul Burgers for friends and family. And LeVan, you were one of the first to ever taste one at Winnell's years ago.
That's right, and they were good then, and they're good now.
Mm-hmm.
The burgers are amazing, Tony, and you have, 13 varieties or more?
Sure do. The barbecue Soul Burger, the luscious jams, the James Brown chicken, flaming fish, healthy veggie, and the yummy T-burger.
Yup, and don't forget my favorite, the tender green burger.
And we have the cutest little mini burgers you ever want to see.
Tony, you really have a soul food meal in a bun.
Levan, are you getting hungry?
You know I am. Tony, your burgers are amazing. So everybody, y'all come on down to Soul Burgers at 1035 South Prairie Avenue in Inglewood, across from the Hollywood Park Racetrack at Harding.
Open Tuesday through Sunday. Call 310-419-SOUL. That's 310-419-7685.
Soul Burgers. Let your taste buds be the judge.
And now, the truth about insurance.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate saved money, and they got more protection. So get the facts. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate.
Start the conversation today with Altadena, California Allstate agent Wilbert Smith Insurance Services. Call 626-791-7636. Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lifestyles. I'm Bobby Owens. Type 2 diabetes is more likely to affect minority populations, including African Americans and Latinos. Mother Love, TV personality and author, has type 2 diabetes and knows firsthand how to deal with it.
To manage diabetes successfully, you must keep a positive attitude and build a strong support team. Make sure you monitor your blood glucose levels often, exercise daily, eat well, and stay informed.
Mother Love says a healthy and balanced diet is very important.
You don't have to skip out on the barbecues, but you do need to watch what you eat. Choose healthy and fresh foods like seasonal fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and always practice portion control. For snacks, try Glucerna nutrition products. The great-tasting shakes, snack bars, and cereals are formulated to minimize blood sugar spikes when used as a part of a diabetes management plan.
Use Glucerna products under medical supervision. For more information, visit Glucerna.com. That's Lifestyles from the makers of Glucerna. I'm Bobby Owens.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You are listening to LA Talk Radio. We say what we want.
You're listening to The Mother Love Show, right here on LA Talk Radio.
And we are back in studio. With me is Brookshire Lafayette. You've probably seen him and just didn't know who he was. He's been in the entertainment industry. What drew you to the entertainment industry? High fashion, personal training, and you have your own internet talk radio program.
Yes, and actual radio station. My goal is to let people know that, hey, if I can do it, you can too. But kind of what drew me to it was I just always felt like I was supposed to be in it. Mm-hmm. It's like I was born in it. When going back to when I was 6 years old, I remember, Creflo Dollar saying usually you can tell the place that you became saved. Usually where you were, what you were into kind of can give you an idea of where you were going. Mm-hmm. Well, when I was 6 years old, I was suspended from school. Loving to talking. Teachers didn't understand. And my mama was fired from work. So we were both going through. So we decided to say, let's go to the park. We water creatures. So the water is therapy for us. So we're at the park and my mama says, baby, 6 years old, you want to get saved? I said, what's that? Mm-hmm. She said, well, just say what I say. Mm-hmm. And so she said, what's supposed to be said about, accepting Christ's sin. And I was just like, okay, not even a couple. This guy pops up from nowhere from the Daily News saying, we're looking for a front cover of the newspaper. Cakes our picture. So we both I'm suspended. She's suspended. Try it. And we making the cover. We making headlines in my hometown the day that I get saved. And so I look back to that and I say, from the time that I really stepped in, I was already on display. Okay. So it just kind of...
I thought I was the only person that said that. They put me on display again. Okay.
But, and it's just all about, as I got older and realizing that, you look good, the camera, and then you have a certain look, and then you have this, and you have those little tools and little skills, and you start figuring it out.
Is that how you got into modeling?
And that's actually how I got into modeling. It's so funny. I actually got into modeling in college, at North Carolina Wesleyan. We didn't really have a college troupe at the time, but Shaw University, which is, historical black college, had one. And theirs was called Raw Essence. And I remember one day, me and my brothers, I have two older brothers, we went to the fashion show.
Oh, so you're the baby.
I'm the baby boy.
You have sisters?
I have one little sister. So we went to the show, and everybody was just looking at me. You know, my brother looked at me, he's like, man, you got it. I'm just like, I got what? Because, you know, everybody, I've always been the type that I think first with my heart, then I think with my head, and I realize what people are looking at. And so I you know, I had the, you know, I was that one that I was chubby back, and I went from skinny to being chubby with, you know, I say man boobs.
You had did you
I
have
had man boobs. That's why I got a big old chest now. But I just been, okay, you heard her say I was a trainer, so I turned that into something, you know.
Let's get rid of the man boobs.
Right, we got rid of the man boobs.
Can I tell you this, some women like man boobs.
Yeah, well, I got a man chest now, but I ain't had no titties because I ain't had a nipple. It was fat, and I surely wouldn't have wore this type of shirt right now because it would not.
Because it would look like you didn't have your brassiere on.
Oh, it would have been like little points, little cups. Little water cups on my chest. So I didn't do that. Nothing point to any fatties, but it's all possible, you know, because I was one. You know, I was the coldest one getting out the pool because I still had my shirt on. So everybody else dry. I'm still soaking wet because, you know, that shirt don't dry the same, you know.
No, it doesn't dry. It
don't dry air dry as quick as your body does. I'm swimming in the pool inside of my shirt because, you know, it get all soggy when you're in the water.
And
I'm like, man, this feels good. But it, you know, when you come out the water, you got to go ahead and slide back into your uniform. So I wasn't that bold to just allow it all to hang out. Because, you know, I always had the cute face, but I was kind of chubby in the waist. So that didn't, you know. Is
that what started you with personal training?
That's what started me with personal training, honestly, because when I was about 10th grade, 11th grade, I had a cousin that came one day, and I was driving. I was in my chubby phases. She said, you know what? You have the potential to be fine. She said, your brother's is cute, but you got the potential to be fine. I was just like, who, me?
You are a good looking, I mean, not just a good looking person to look at physically.
Thank you.
You have such a beautiful spirit.
Thank you so much.
And I think, and for me, your spirit is far greater looking than your physical features.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I totally feel that.
Thank you so much.
And it's good that all the stuff is in the right place and you got good hygiene.
Right.
And you got great teeth and your mama and them showed you right.
Right. My mama showed me and my daddy.
Are you involved in a relationship?
With someone? I am single.
I could pimp you out. I'm talking about we could be getting paid, Brookshire. We could be getting paid. I'm always pimping out my guests, especially my single guests, male and female. I pimp them all.
Mother love, I'm just at that point now to where, you know, I was going to do the married thing a couple times back in my younger age. And so it's just really being whole and being who you are, because when you start bringing on a family and any other people, I take care of my goddaughter, you know, when you start bringing on other people, you need to be.
And your action is not right, because they will pick you to pieces if you don't have your foundation strong.
You have to. And so I'm just at that point to where there's so many incomplete people coming together to try to become complete, and then it doesn't work.
It will never work.
It don't work.
It will. You know that, and I know that. It's never going to work.
And I come from my mom and dad's been married for 34 years now. So, you know, they're the type that met in October and got married in December. My dad was just like, you my wife. Like caveman days, you my woman. You know, my mom's like, okay.
And what would be wrong with that? In October, my husband and I will be together 40 years.
Oh, wow.
40 years.
That is awesome.
Everybody goes, what? I was like 2.
Right.
And I saw him getting off the elevator in college, and I knew.
You knew.
This was going to be my husband, the father of my children.
And it wasn't collard greens.
No, it wasn't.
Indigestion, nothing like that.
I ain't have gas.
Right.
Matter of fact, we were playing Rate the Freshman Group. I was a year ahead of him because I'm the genius in the group.
Okay.
I was a year ahead of him, and we were playing Rate the Freshman Group. Me and a bunch of chicks was sitting on the couch in the lobby, watching the guys come off the elevator, and I'm literally holding up signs like the Olympics. Okay, he get a 4, he get a 6.
Right.
When this guy walk, and I'm critiquing.
Right.
You know, I'm like, let me tell you why he get a 6. Okay, he got nice big feet. Okay, you know, by the belt. Okay, his shoes is a little raggedy. You know, and I bet you his wallet stank.
Okay.
Because you know we look at your watch, your belt, your shoes.
As a freshman in college?
No, women. Look at men. We look at your shoes, your belt, and what kind of wallet you have.
Wow.
We don't care nothing about how you look. You know, you could be like 400 pounds as long as you got a good belt on.
Right.
Nice shoes on, decent shoes.
Right.
They ain't all tore up.
Okay.
And your wallet is not all tattery. And what
he said tattery.
And what kind of watch you wear?
What if you don't wear a watch?
Then you got to go with something else. I want to look at your big hand. And so we're playing Rate the Freshman. I saw this guy getting off the elevator and was like, that's it. Put all the cards down. And I turned around and I said to all 10 of them, you skanky women. Y'all my skanky friends, and yes, I'm the one that came up with the word skank. That wasn't somebody else. This was from 100 years ago. I said, you skanky women, and they always say, girl, we heard them using your words on TV. Girl, you know, everybody say. I started kick to the curb.
Kick it to the curb.
I kick it to the curb. I started all of that because one day he kicked me to the curb and left me laying on the curb.
No.
Laying on the curb. But anyway, and I said, that is my husband.
Wow.
That's the father of my children. That's the man I'm going to grow old with.
Wow.
And they looked at me like, you is crazy. And when one of his, I didn't even know one of the girls we were talking with, she called his name. And I said, oh, yes. I am Mrs. Married to him.
Yes.
And it took him 13 years to marry me. He was like, he woke up one day and go, let me get you off the street. I'm gonna marry you. I'm like, that's not a proposal. You don't tell your future wife, well, I need to get you off the street.
But at least y'all build the foundation and the friendship, and you got to know one another, and look at it 40 years later.
Absolutely. He is my dearest friend.
Yes, very easy to get along with, so I can imagine.
When you're in a relationship and they're your friend, you can tolerate a lot more from your friends.
That companion, right.
I mean, because your friends, your friends, you like them raw.
Right.
Your lover, you be like, okay, you need to be perfect. No, you don't.
Right.
We don't strive for perfection.
Right.
We strive for excellence.
Right.
And he's an excellent guy.
That's awesome.
He's a good friend. He's a good person. He's a good dad.
Wow.
And he's fine.
Ah! Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Look, I don't want to be looking. A man could get a fat, bald head, blind, and one eye can't see wife. You could dump her fat butt in a Spanx, put a wig on her head, give her some contact, take her home to mama. You get an ugly man, you put him in a tuxedo, all you got is ugly in a tux.
Wow.
That's it. Now, about your career, what brought you to California?
Well, honestly, what brought me to California was I was doing a show called My Model Looks Better Than Your Model with host Eva Pickford, executive producers Nathan Williams, which did Dirty Laundry and a couple other shows that he has out. And I just really connected with Eva.
Now, was that here?
That was in New York, actually.
Okay.
Because just to give you back, after college, I went from living in New Jersey, well, the Poconos in Pennsylvania, with my auntie, Dr. LaJoyce, which is Ask a Good Doctor. Shout outs to her, which was the best-selling author of the movie Soul Food. She did the novelization of the book. She was also a publicist for like Biggie Smalls at his death, Aretha Franklin, Kenny G, Toto, you name it. She was the cream of the crop and putting you in the right place.
Okay.
So she saw me.
So you had some connection.
So I had some connection. She saw me do a fashion show once, and I had my own modeling troupe called Exotic Mosaic Modeling Productions. Because I told you, when we did everybody looked around and saw, oh, who is this? And then that same show, the judges after it was over, just like, have you ever thought about modeling? And then
you had never
at the college. Now I thought about it, but
not really.
I wanted to model with that modeling troupe, Raw Essence, but of course I didn't go to the college, so I didn't know how that was possible. But God, he comes in and he do something different. All you gotta do was want it. Before the show was over with, the director was just like, you should come walk for us. If you can make it to the practices, you can come and walk.
Okay.
So for 4 years I walked for Raw Essence and with Raw Essence. So it's amazing. Didn't go to the college. So I was that dude that was, we'll say, the good looking dude that had the girl that was at the college and went to all the activities. But nobody knew where I lived or what classes I went to. So I was that one.
Everybody doesn't need to know
everything. They don't need to know
everything.
I concur totally. And so that kind of started it off. And then I started my own modeling troupe at my college, Exotic Mosaic Modeling Productions, which now is Visions of Beauty, which is still at the school. Me and
you left a legacy.
I left a legacy. Me and my good friend, actually present at the time, my partner, she stayed after I got to college and continued to move it forward. And to this day, the girls I don't even know call or hit me up on Facebook. We have our homecoming show, and I'm just like, wow, because it wasn't easy. Let me tell you,
anybody could do it.
It was no joke. I mean, from practicing outside in hallways and to the cafeteria to doing what we needed to do, and then when I left college, we ended up, we left the, Visions of Beauty there. I took Exotic Mosaic and went to build the career. I got a job at the mall and started pulling everybody that I thought looked good. If you and your husband look good, y'all both were modeling for me.
Okay.
I was bold. I didn't mind. Now, if you just look good, then I'm going to be friendly to your husband, but you coming.
And if you got a good looking husband, he can come too.
He coming, and then you staying if you don't look good. We ain't taking both because we ain't doing no favors in that place, because I believed at that time we had a brand that we were representing. And these, when you're in fashion, the only way that designer can get his stuff out there is on you. And so you need to look the part and be the part, and no matter what. And if you was a plus size, you need to be a plus size that was beautiful.
Fabulous.
Fabulously amazing. I always call it divas that help. That's what I said. You got to be a diva, but you better learn how to help your sister. Because then that's how you become a legacy. That's how you become great, is when you can take what you have
and that's what I did with my with
Yes.
my plus size beauty pageant. And everybody kept saying, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. No, I remember going to one of the first sponsors and telling them what I wanted to do. And they go, don't nobody want to come and see a bunch of fat women walk down the runway. And I said, they're not fat women. They're plus size women.
Right.
Because you have
Big
to be in
difference.
proportion.
Right.
And you can't come in here with cankles and fat on your kneecaps. You know, when you throw your arm up, you're waving and it's looking like a flag and you all sloppy. Looking like, I heard this comedian say this and it was just too funny. This is when you know you just fat and sloppy, when you look like a bag of laundry.
Wow.
You can't.
Right.
It looking like I want a beautiful plus size
funny.
woman that knew that they were beautiful.
Right.
Because I was always of the mindset, I mean, all of us were plus size women, and in the African American community, it's different than in the Caucasian community.
Right.
Because, you know, brothers like big women.
That's right.
They knew, look, the sister can cook.
Yeah.
She's going to be warm in the winter.
Right.
And shaded in the summertime. And we just didn't grow up with that same
Right.
negative stereotype about being plus size. Like I used to say, I'm plus size. That doesn't mean I don't have any fashion.
Okay.
And I could step
Big
in some stuff
difference.
that toes just like any little skinny
Turn
one-bone
heads.
chick.
Okay.
We would walk into a nightclub or a room or any kind of, and all the men would stand up and give us seats.
I know that's right.
And take care of it. I think I paid for an alcoholic beverage, a drink. I think I'm trying to remember. I might have paid for a drink once in my life.
You sound like me.
We too pretty for that. Okay, so now you go. Okay, so you get your modeling troupe, and then you
Get the modeling troupe.
How long have you been here in California?
I've been in California for 5 years. Got here in 2007. So of course my schedule my life went from getting out of college and then going to the Poconos in Pennsylvania to New Jersey to New York.
Where in New Jersey?
I lived in North Bergen, New Jersey. So I
know
was
exactly
right
where it
outside
is.
of Lincoln Tunnel.
I know.
And I stayed at grocery stores.
We lived in Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Oh, did you?
Off the 22.
Yes. I needed grocery stores still in a Walmart. You feel me?
I still need Walmart.
Okay.
And look in a Costco.
And a Target.
And
it works out.
Target. Thank you very much.
Right, and they got the best gross breakfast food. Because you go to these restaurants. I'm one of them type. I don't like always having to cook breakfast. I can make a mean breakfast, and I just let you know I've been cooking for 24 years. So since I was 4 years old, I actually have a cooking show. We're gonna go into that, and in place in a cookbook. But I can throw down better than most people grandparents can. And so
I'd like to go up against you.
Oh, anytime.
We could have us a cook-off, because I throw down.
Well,
let me tell you who I turned into. Let me tell you who I turned into.
Who you turned into?
We just had Easter. I am the cooking ninja.
Well, you know what?
And there's nothing sexier than a man that can cook.
Yes, you know what? I believe that. And real men, remember, Jesus cooked too. So, hey, people don't realize it, but we got real men, if you look at biblical principles, were in the kitchen making sure that now, the meals was cooked and things was put in place. That whole domination things and women being less than kind of came into place and switched that up where they need to be in the kitchen.
That was some kind of stupid. Somebody got stuck on.
We was making sure that my daddy can throw down. You feel me?
I totally.
My daddy can throw down with the get down, okay?
Baby, go on over there and sit
But
down.
he can't cook better than his son, so I got to go ahead and get him down. You feel me?
Okay, now when your daddy be calling up here, okay, Mr. Lafayette, that was your son saying.
That was your son,
that was your child. I'm just saying, and it's on the radio.
Yes.
So you could download it and hear him say it again.
So, and with that, it just continued to grow. And so, of course, I'm a firm believer then, that one thing with Brookshire Productions, just to go into what Brookshire Productions, because we're talking about the cooking show, I'm a firm believer.
Where can we see the cooking show?
Well, the cooking show right now is in process. It's one of those things, anybody that is doing a TV show, that it is a process from conception to actual birthing of it, and then of course it growing into a grown man, which is like an Oprah 25 seasons later. That gonna have some grandkids, which is on, and it continues to go ahead and have some other children. So that's how I kind of look at it. But I was one of those ones that I said, I took it to heart, where they said, most people do what they love, and usually what they love, if you do it and you love it and you just do it, then eventually someone's gonna pay you for it. And so I said, you know what, I cook, I clean, I talk, you know what I'm saying? I motivate, these are the things that I do, and I can create. I personal train, I did gymnastics, I was flipping since I was 5, I was cooking since I was 5, and I was cooking since I was 5. So a lot of the things and talking since I was 2, 3, but you know what I'm saying? And grocery shopping since I was 4. So I took all those and turned them into businesses. Once you get the college education, you learn how to market things and you understand the industry, but that was that color proof that I was telling y'all all about.
And after a while, what I've noticed in this business, when you get to a certain level, they don't see color.
Right.
They see talent
and green.
And they see green.
Yes.
Now what they say, I take that back. They see color.
They see color.
Green.
They see green.
They see green.
Because Will Smith done turned green.
11 times.
Right.
Have you met him yet?
I have.
Isn't he a fun guy?
He is an amazing. Actually, we used to attend the church, Living Waters in the Valley, which him and his brother, they brung the church together at the time. It doesn't exist at the moment, but Barry Lyons is still strong, our pastor, which is amazing and very, very anointed. But I had the opportunity to. Will is one of my mentor, should I say, to experience him. There was one point when I was listening to him so much to where I heard the Lord say, okay, don't covet. Back up, let him back up, because it was becoming a little too much. And then next thing you know,
let it marinate.
Let it marinate. Next thing you know, the next week he was right there and we were holding a conversation with one another. And so it was just almost kind of like you had enough in you to attract it. And here you go. Now what you gonna do? And so it's just all about continuously, taking. I look at it like this, because he is a mentor of mine, and just like Obama, and I look at Tyler Perry, and then of course I look at my pastors like Creflo Dollar, Bill Winston, of course Lori Thompson, people that of course my prophets, the people that have stood in the gaps and has made a difference despite what anyone could have said about them.
They up the equipment.
They ain't telling up the equipment.
If you break it, you buy it.
I'm not trying to break it, because I ain't trying to buy it for nobody else at the moment, unless it's a gift.
Okay.
And I just really put that out there, and my focus is to take what they've given me and their examples and to be my best, because that's how I say thank you. Because if I say you're my mentor and then I come out here and I make a mess
and halfway
do what I'm supposed to do and not live my best,
right,
then I shouldn't even put your name in my context. But I can say confidently for OWN. Of course, we have a show that I partner with Maria Menounos for AfterBuzz TV.
Did you really?
With Dancing with the
Tell
Stars.
me about AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV is awesome. It's all about it's a television network that Maria Menounos from Host Extra and Dancing with the Stars. She's doing amazing. Definitely make sure y'all vote for her.
That's right. Put it out there.
Put it out there. She started a network because she would be in a host. So many people came up to her and was just like, how do I get involved? How do I get into this? So she built this multi-million-dollar recording studio, which is fabulous, and she decided to give people the opportunity. Well, of course, with me being a boss and connected with a new boss, we partnered together and decided I created some original content, which one of the contents was the Y&R, which is the Young and the Restless recap show. I'm a fan of the Young and the Restless. Been watching it for 25 years.
I'm so mad at them. I don't know what to do. Then they got on my last working nerve. I am sick of them, and I'm telling all of y'all. I'm telling y'all, and all of y'all. I'm about sick of y'all. Don't make me come over to the CBS.
Right.
Again. I love them all.
I love them all. So me and my grandma, 25 years.
I've been a fan since it came on.
Yes, my grandma, 35 years. So me and my Granny Z from Chicago, Illinois, she's Granny Z. She comes on every week, and we do a live show.
Really?
Me and my grandma, and we have
now, how long is the
ball. The show is an hour long. We have probably about 23 or 24 episodes that we filmed, and just an amazing. We're in the process of revamping it now.
Now, where can we see it?
You can actually catch the Y&R recaps on AfterBuzzTV.com. You can actually go there, click on the actual tab that says shows, stroll down, because they film hundreds of shows in there.
Right.
You stroll down to the Y&R, the Young and the Restless logo, click on it. All the shows are right there.
And so you and your grandma do the
Me and my grandma, and then you can also catch it on YouTube. Okay. Type in Brookshire, Lafayette, Y&R, it'll pop right up.
Is that your name, or is that your stage name?
That's my name, Brookshire Corey Lafayette. That is me.
They named you Bruce. they knew you were destined for greatness from the beginning.
Yes. So
now tell me about your Internet Talk Radio program.
So the Internet Talk Radio program, for all y'all out there that have magazines.
Because I don't usually have other people on talking about Internet Talk Radio.
Well, I did a little bit different.
It's cool with me, because I think it's important that we share what we have with one another and let people know
what's out
there.
And you know what? That's where opportunity comes, because me and you gonna be talking too. Hello, because it's all about in that bossness, in that kingdom minded. Because at the end of the day, everyone, you are a king or a queen. Because at the end of the day, any choices that you make, good or bad, you're getting results.
I am queen hour.
Okay.
Trust me. This is how my grandchildren greet me in the morning. Good morning, my queen.
Oh, I know that's right.
Good morning, my prince.
I know that's right.
Princess. Good morning, my queen.
And I'm going to say that too, and I was going to say it afterwards, because you're absolutely right. Because coming on the show, Kennedy was just like, well, mother loves gifts.
Yeah, where my presents?
And speaking of that, already I got you an azalea tree outside. I wanted to. That was for you. That is for you. Listen, in my front yard, we grow the beautifulest azalea bushes in North Carolina. Well, not my front yard, but somebody's. I can guarantee it came out of somebody's yard.
He done stole the plant from me. I'm in receipt of stolen goods. No,
but they are so beautiful, and when you look at it, you bring so much sunshine in your heart. And then I knew that you loved wine.
Oh my God, I saved all my empty calories for wine.
So
thank you so much.
I wanted to make sure
a Blackstone Merlot,
and it's got the purple, and I always love the purple, and it's all about royalty. Of course, it fits perfect.
When you come to the camp, that's where I live, at the camp.
Yes.
We live in a compound, Camp Kennedy. When you come to the compound, you're going to understand about the purple with me.
We flowing.
So now talk to me about the your internet program, because yours is different.
Yeah, so it's different. So basically what I did was I started off with Real Talk with Brookshire on, I don't even remember this. It was an internet-based station. It's been so long ago. You got the bio. What is it? It was KYHY, something along those lines. 92, something.
He is terrible.
Anywho, we started off with an internet program where I was hitting about 200,000 people, and it was Real Talk with Brookshire, and it's all about giving news and current events with enough twists. So that's what we were doing.
Okay, this is what it was. It was 925kyhy.com.
Yes, so that's what we started off at, and it was an amazing opportunity. I had a 30-minute show, and I'm telling you, from the start to the finish, we were knocking it out. And then things happen when greatness comes. There's the enemy always got to try to come in, but the goal is he ain't got no room.
Don't get thee behind me.
Okay. So, just to make a long story short, that propelled me into wanting to start something different. So, I wanted to figure out, I said this content needed to be out there. People need to hear this because, faith comes by hearing, and of course hearing the word of God, but faith, and no matter what you do, no matter where you're going, it's going to come in what you're getting, what's coming in your ears.
That's right.
What you're bringing in, and you're going to have faith in it. You want money? Right. You go get some money information, and you're going to have faith in it.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So, and that's kind of where it came from.
You're saying it right.
Okay? Right. So, that didn't work out, and so I started work with this one magazine at the time called Love Magazine, and at the time they no longer exist, but I was going to do a column called Real Talk for them, and I went on their website and I saw Love TV, and I said, well, they got Love TV, maybe they can have Love Radio. And then within that time frame, a good prophet friend of mine, Prophetess Wallace, like I told you, she called with "Thus says the Lord" and said, "Baby,"
you said it real fast.
She called with Prophetess Wallace. Prophetess Wallace. She's a doctor, Dr. Prophetess Wallace, should I say? She calls and says, "Baby, the Lord came to me and told me to tell you to be looking for a miracle."
Hey,
I said, "Hallelujah, I receive it."
Totally.
And that same night, Mag Radio Stations concept was born. Basically, what Mag Radio Stations is we build online radio stations for online magazines, bringing their content to life. So again, you have so many magazines that you just read or you look at, but now they don't have a voice, and anything with a voice can sell itself. So what we do is we say, for instance, Vogue will have their own magazine, their own radio station, so Vogue 107.5.
Okay.
So all the viewers for Vogue will now have a radio station that they can go to, so they can hear the voice of Vogue. Okay. They can hear the music of Vogue. They can hear talk shows. So along those lines, we can syndicate shows, and my goal was 50 stations in the next 3 years. Let's do it big. Give God a reason to step on up in there.
What do they say? Go big or go home.
Go big, and I look at it like Kathy Hughes did it, with Radio 1, and she did it on a bigger, on a half the grind scale. So I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. And so our first radio station, our mag radio station, is Love 92.3, which is LOV923.com, which is LOV923.com. And I'm so happy about it because it's all about empowering the Renaissance thinker, the creative thinker, that guy or girl or gal that wants something out of life, and maybe they don't know exactly how to go and get it or know where to go get enough of it. I'm joining the bandwagon with the Oprahs, with the Mother Loves, and making it possible for people to be able to have a place that they can go to, especially with love, to be able to get this information. And again, my goal was, why go after 50 million people when I can get 50 people something they want, and we can get connected to 50 million people because they already had an audience,
right? No doubt.
And so that's kind of the concept of it. And of course, what you can find on Love, which is, one of the things that we're doing, is the BK experience.
What's the BK?
The BK experience is I partner with master expert teacher Kyra Reckford. Oh my God, he's amazing, with neuro-linguistic programming, which is neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which is the way and the relationships of words with our futures. Because Deepak Choi did a study that our conversations, our nerves and our nerves, all of our nerves in our body are eavesdropping on our minds and our conversations, which means that's why people, that are talking negative or talking positive, your body says, okay, yes or no.
And they can feel that, your body can feel that
They
energy.
can feel that energy. So just to wrap it up, because I know we're getting up. So BK Experience, Kai Redford, definitely. We definitely going to be having Ask a Good Doctor with Dr. LaJoyce on. Check it out. Creflo Dollar's on. We have a lot of amazing people on Love 92.3.
Love 92.3.
LOV 923. And definitely you can check me out, your host, Brookshire, at any time. I'm going to be back with Love. We're going to have Mother Love in the studio, too, so keep your eyes out on her. Because we got a new show coming also called The Breakthrough, which we're following Tony Robbins, and that's another way that we're going to be giving back. But definitely check me out on Twitter, which is Brookshire123. It's very simple.
It has been my distinct honor and pleasure. You must come back on the program again because I just feel like we got so many gaps, and we haven't even scratched the surface of finding out what it is that we're gonna. Now somebody gonna call. Too late. We ladies and gentlemen, Brookshire, Lafayette, talk show host. Just a wonderful, loving, giving human being.
Thank you so much.
May the universe continue to open up and conspire for your great success.
You too.
And I will see you there. Thank you very much.
Love you.
I love you back. And baby, let me just end my program before I start pushing buttons. I love you, babies, and there's not a doggone thing that any one of you can do about mother loving you. Peace, babies. Now.